Splitting the rent to live with a man is so crazy to me because why would you do that when you could split rent and live with your best friend?
Hey people, how you all doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome to my channel. How you are doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So there's this conversation a lady brother has gotten a lot of people talking, especially men talking about she would not pay, like she's not going to go 50-50 with a man on rent. Rather she rather go 50-50 with her friend on rent. So if a man is going to make her pay 50-50 rent and she's living with a man, then she rather go be with her best friend and live with her and pay rent there rather than to pay rent with a man. And this has struck the entire conversation of, will I say 50-50 again? And the entire conversation is, as a woman, should you be paying rent when you're living with your man or not? But me, I took it further to ask, should you be paying rent when you're living with your boyfriend, or should you be splitting rent when you're living with your boyfriend? Should you be splitting rent when you're living with your husband, when you're married? I want to know your own take about this down in the comment section, because I feel like there are two different scenarios. When you're living with a boyfriend, is a different scenario splitting rent, but when you're married, is a different scenario splitting rent. So I want to know your own take down in the comment section. Okay, so go down and share your thoughts. So we're going to check out the video that struck this entire conversation and people's response, especially men's response to this, and then we'll come back and talk more.
Splitting the rent to live with a man is so crazy to me because why would you do that when you could split rent and live with your best friend? Splitting the rent to live with a man is so crazy to me because why would you do that when you could split rent?
Don't get me wrong, like, of course I want my partner to, take care of me, but I'm not looking for it in a financial sense. Like, gifts are fun and great, and vacations are great, but when it comes to if we're living together, I don't want my partner to carry the financial load. Unless, of course, they make a significant amount more money than I do. Okay, you got it. But if we're making the same amount of money and we live together, I don't feel right having him pay all of the rent. In this economy, at this point, I'm convinced you guys don't even like the people that you're with. Do you want a partner, an equal, or do you want a father?
Splitting the rent to live with a man is so crazy to me because why would you do that when you could split rent and live with your best friend?
I guess you can do everything with your best friend that you do with a partner. Like, get some wine, put on a movie, cook together. I guess just chill together. You could do that with your best friend just like your partner. Right, best friend?
Okay.
Splitting the rent to live with a man is so crazy to me because why would you do that when you could split rent?
You know what? It'd be easier on us if we just learn to start paying all the bills and keep the lease breakage fee ready for when they start acting like this, so we can give them their 30 days, because no female is worth this much of a headache. Listen of advice for you fellas. It's a lot easier to just break them out of their lease, give them their 30 days, and they tell them they gotta go, than it is to deal with this. And if you're lucky enough to not have them on the lease, you could just kick them out without a 30-day notice. Learn your laws, people.
Splitting the rent to live with a man is so crazy to me because why would you do that when you could split rent and live with your best friend?
Then go do it. Who's stopping you? At some point in time, some of you are going to have to realize that you just don't like men. That's just what it's going to come down to. Some of you are just going to have to understand that you aren't attracted to men, hence why you're not willing to do things. And to be honest, Love is Blind season 7 has taught me that when someone really doesn't like you, the little things are going to make you mad. When you really don't like someone, the little things are going to trigger you and make you think, oh, I need to get out of this relationship, because you know you're doing something that you don't like. Hence why so many of you don't like men, for the simple fact of you're not attracted to men, you're attracted to someone else. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you're happy, I'm happy. But at some point in time, some of you are going to have to be honest with yourself and stop coming to the internet talking about what men can't do, and understand you're the own issue in your own situation. If you don't want to split rent with a man and you want to split it with your girls, go ahead and do it. Ain't nobody stopping you.
Splitting the rent to live with a man is so crazy to me because why would you do that when you could split rent and live with your best friend?
This is an argument I never understood, but now I finally get it, okay? Because I'm like, what's the difference between staying with the best friend and staying with the man? But then I realized she actually likes the best friend. In an ideal world, like if you liked and, maybe had some sort of feelings for, maybe even loved the man, like that wouldn't be a problem for you. I feel like so many women are used to like getting involved with men that they don't like, that they don't even realize that they do it. Also, the thing is, like, you can like somebody, but also not like them enough. That's a very real thing, and I think that's probably the thing that happens more. It's like some of them see being around their significant other as a punishment, so they feel like they need to be compensated for it. In reality, when you actually like who you're dealing with, you don't think of stuff like that. Things that be right in front of our eyes, okay? There's the media muggos. There's, oh, I love him, but he's just like really smelly, stuff like that. Some of them date men that they have to remind to brush their teeth. And it's like, no wonder, like, you don't want to just spend time with this man for free. Some people are of the mindset where it's like, man, I honestly don't like this guy. So he better feed me. He better give me a place to stay. He better provide me asylum,
Splitting the rent to live with a man is so crazy to me because why would you do that when you could split rent and live with your best friend?
Y'all, please help me out. Maybe my situation is unique. I'm married now, so I'm not talking about me currently. In my past relationships, when I was out here dating, it was always a girlfriend that I had wanting to move in with me or wanting to get an apartment together. I've never been like, hey, you want to move in together? You want to get an apartment together? Can I move in with you? And I thought that was normal. I thought that it was normal for the girls to be the ones to try to be moving in with the guys. And that's why when I hear shit like this, I think to myself, how can these women beg to move in with their man, but then not want to pay rent? That's what I hear. So, new rule. And I think this will cancel all this bullshit out. Whoever's idea it is, whoever's pushing more for it to move in with the other, the person who wants it less, you get to dictate how rent is being paid. Because in my scenarios, I was always like, you want to pay half? Then no, we not moving in together. What you talking about? And I don't think I know a single man who's, maybe I'm just not around these garbage dudes y'all be man. But like, I don't know a single man who's like begging a girl to move in with her. And that should be a red flag in itself. Like, if he's begging for y'all to get a spot together, you should know, like, oh, this ain't it. Usually, in my experience and from the people I know, it's always the woman who wants to move the relationship forward. What are we? When are we going to meet each other's parents? Da-da-da-da-da. When we going to move in together? When we going to get married? That's just been life to me. That's just how I've seen it my whole life. So when I get online and I hear these women talking about it just doesn't make sense to be splitting rent with a man, I'm like, man, stop begging to move in with a man all the time. Y'all always begging to further the relationship, but you want full control of said relationship. That's crazy.
Splitting the rent to live with a man is so crazy to me because why would you do that when you could split rent and live with your best friend?
I guess it's just that time again where the 50-50 conversation is making its rounds again. But first things first, y'all don't consider your man or your woman to be your best friend? It's crazy though, because it still seems like a lot of y'all just do not understand one of the major benefits of being with somebody and being in a relationship and being a partner to someone. But before I go on to the benefits of being in a relationship, it don't seem weird to y'all that a person will come on here and say that they can't see themselves splitting rent or bills, period, with the man that they chose, the man that they're supposed to be in love with or at least like. They can't see themselves splitting bills with them, but they can do it for a friend. Maybe I'm the weird one, but that just seems weird. But anyways, let's get back to the benefits of, having a partner and splitting and sharing the financial responsibility. I'm not even just talking about splitting rent. I'm talking about everything financial, relieving that financial burden off of the person that you're with. You do this by sharing the responsibility. You know what I mean? Everybody just contributes. And again, I'm not even just talking about splitting rent. One person can pay the rent as long as the other person is paying something else, just sharing the responsibility. But if we are just talking about rent, listen, if you were living on your own, paying it all, how do you get into a situation where You no longer have to pay it all. You can pay a portion of it, and the other person pays the other portion of it. Now the bill is paid, and you still have money left over in your pocket. And you have a problem with that? I don't understand it. Understand this, people. In a relationship, both people have to be happy. Nobody's going to be happy if they have to pay everything and take care of everything financially. Unless that person actually has the money to do that, and the other person is taking care of everything else that needs to be done in that home. I can't stress it enough. It has to be balanced. It has to balance out. Nobody is going to be happy in a relationship if they feel like they're doing more than the other person. But I will never understand anybody that doesn't see the benefits of sharing responsibilities with the person that they're with.
Splitting the rent to live with a man is so crazy to me because why would you do that when you could split rent and live with your best friend?
Women don't look at men, as people. They help their friend before they help their boyfriend or their husband, right? In any book of God, they talk about a man being a provider, which is correct, and a woman being a helpmate, right? These women would be a helpmate to their best friend or their female friend, but not to their man or their husband, right? Which is pretty worse to me, but it is what it is. And what's crazy is I'm really tired of these conversations. Even me, like, I'm real tired of the conversation, even though I talk about it all the time. A lot of women are broke, bro. We have to be honest. Like, a lot of women don't have money. A lot of women don't have $1,000 to their name. The average American, right? 42% of Americans have less than $1,000 in their bank account. 16% only have $1,000 to $5,000. And I'm going to scroll down here. I feel broke when I'm even in this range here. I feel broke when I'm only at $10,000 to $25,000. And that's 8% of America. Now, I want you to think about it, right? Imagine being a man and you only have this amount of money and you're paying all these bills by yourself. Meanwhile, your wife or your girlfriend isn't contributing anything. And all you get in return is arguments and, right? All you get back is X and an argument. In 2024, going into 2025, as a man, you are better off being single until you get a helpmate, a woman that actually wants to see you grow, period. Though it's not on the woman to make you grow, but if she's going to be in your circle, be around you, she should want you to grow. It's 2024. These bills are expensive. Everything is expensive. Eggs, milk. So you telling me you're not going to go half on these bills? She doesn't like you if she's not willing to. So in 2024, stay single until you find you a helpmate. It's as simple as that. You don't have to deal with these type of women, bro. Oh, you got to pay all the bills by yourself? You don't have to. You can just stay single and pay them all yourself and have, peace and quiet.
This conversation is very, I'm going to come from a different point of view, but please go down in the comment section and share your own thoughts. But please, as always, please keep it respectful. You're on this channel, we're here just to have conversation, and we'll have respectful conversations. So go ahead, feel free. You don't have to insult anybody, call anybody's name, share your opinion. We're allowed to disagree. Disagreement is allowed here on this channel and is respected here. So feel free, let's disagree to agree and all that. So go down and share your thought. So for me, I get the conversation. She said she'd rather move in with her best friend than to be with a man. She didn't say husband, so that means they are not in the marriage stage. So husband. So this is my own take on it. Why are you even moving in with a man that's not your husband? Why? Then I'll talk about the husband and wife who pay the rent part out. I'll share my own thought and opinion on that. But why are you even moving in with a man that is not your husband? And this is why I feel like as women, as young women, we lose that picture just because, oh, the relationship is feeling good and all that. Oh, baby, let's move in together and all that. Why are you doing that? And before you know, you're in there playing duty of a wife and doing all the things in a girlfriend stage. Why? For me, I don't even understand why is this even a conversation. If you know you're independent, if you know you want to start living outside your parents' house and you can live outside your parents' house, or you can't even afford the rent, why not be with your friend? Why not be with another friend that you can help and just help secure yourself, why do you have to move with the person that you are in a relationship with? That to say, so for me, that does not make sense. Like, that's not even a brainer. Like, I feel like that should not even be a conversation. Why would you? But that to say, if you are in a marriage, because this is me, like I always said, yeah, in my chat, I did myself and my husband, we dated for 10 years before we got married. Never for that 10 years we lived together until we were actually married. You get it? So I am that, like, I don't even I don't know why we're having this conversation. Okay. So on the other side, now if you're not married, I'm of the opinion a woman should always have her own money. A woman should always do something to have her own money, secure herself, protect herself. I am of that opinion, 150%. But I personally, I feel like as a husband, I'm a Nigerian girl. I live in Nigeria, so I'm an African woman. As a husband, a husband should pay the rent. If the house does not belong to us, then you should be paying the rent because you took me from my father's house and said that you want to love and protect me. So you should pay the rent. You should not marry me and then I'm paying the rent. No. No. You know that conversation we always have here, like, oh, I'm already doing bad on my own. Why should I? Like, why? Why would you take me out of my father's house to bring me to come and start paying rent? Because here in my culture, in my society, usually we leave our father's house to go to our husband's house. We're usually not independent, paying our own rent before. So why would you take me out of that and start making me pay rent? No, I can support other way because I make my own money. I can support other ways, but not rents. Rent is for a man. I feel like I feel like if I start sharing rent with a man, we're roommates, we're flatmates at this point. I'm not going to do that. If you're my husband, no matter, yes, I get it, times are hard, times are the rent should be on you. Yes, I'm saying it with my full chest. So this whole conversation, I'm like, oh man, I don't know why we're having it. If it's boyfriend and girlfriend are moving, if it's husband, that is his responsibility to provide shelter for his family, and I am his family. So please provide the shelter. Okay, so that's my own take. I love to know your own take down in the comment section. You can agree and disagree with me. Go down in the comment section and share your thought. Love to know. In fact, I really love to know what you guys think about it because I feel like this conversation is very dicey, especially for women that make their own money, that are secure financially, and how like that does not really believe that, oh, a man should provide for them 100%. Because I am of the opinion that if a man provides for you 100%, the man will financially abuse you. I am a big opinion of that. But also, I'm not going to pay the rent. Like, no, not the rents. No, I can do other things. I can support. I can do other things. I can take care of me, but not the rent. So I want to know what you think about this conversation down in the comment section. But as always, please, please, please keep it respectful. Here on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we'll do it in a respectful way. So go ahead, feel free and share your thought. Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go on and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button because this helps YouTube to push up my content for more people to see, and that will be you supporting this channel and this girl here. So go on and do that. So subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys in my next video. Deuces.